Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is time to rise and receive. Welcome to your 10-minute morning send off designed to support you in receiving what you most want by unlearning struggle. So, today we're going to talk about how to invite good fortune when you are tired. What a concept, huh? How to invite good fortune when you're tired. So, if you are new to Rise and Receive and you're just settling in for the first time, or if you are a regular fan, I invite you to just sit back. And if you're tired, let this be a place of rest, at least for 10 or 15 minutes. And let whatever today's message has to offer you really soothe your rest and really give you a whole new way of opening up to receiving and inviting good fortune, even and especially as you're resting. So, if you don't know me, my name is Sonia Miller. I'm a speaker, coach, and best-selling author. And I am passionate about teaching people how to receive, because receiving is its own very specific, concrete, and results-producing skill set. And yet I have discovered over many years as a coach that a lot of people don't know how to receive. We know how to work hard. We know how to pursue, hunt, chase, and seek. But we don't know how to actually receive what we've been hunting for. And even if we do, even if we get to this point of satisfaction or arrival, usually the feeling is fleeting and we're off to receiving, or pursuing, I should say, the next thing. So receiving is this beautiful balancing counterpart to all of this mental activity and physical activity that is involved in the doing model of power. And one of the things I'd love to illuminate is that much struggle in life is learned. A little bit is natural, but much of it is learned. And when you've come to over-rely on the doing model of power and you don't know about its counterpart, which is the being model of power, chances are pretty good you're going to keep working, and waiting for your long overdue rewards. And even if you get them, they'll be fleeting. So here we provide the opportunity to explore the antidote to that, which is, how do I stop that overfunctioning? And how do I receive the joyful fulfillment that I've been pursuing? And furthermore, where is it? So the other thing that I illuminate is life always offers kindness. But part of the casualty of over-relying on the doing model of power is most of us don't believe that life offers kindness. All we see are things that we have to protect ourselves from and defend against. And that blocks the flow of receptivity and the capacity to see the well-being and kindness that is here. So that's what Rise and Receive is about. And what I did this morning is I pulled one card from my brand new Receive card deck, which is coming out in the new year. And if you'd like to get your own, if you like this, go to receivecarddeck.com, put in your name and email, and I will let you know as soon as they become available. So I pulled a card from my Receive card deck and I asked, how do I invite good fortune when I'm tired? On behalf of everyone who's tired, on behalf of everyone who'd like to invite good fortune, how do we do it? And so the card that we are being inspired by today is Receive Rest. Receive Rest. Now, that card may be a really logical answer to the question around being tired and how do you receive, or I should say, how do you invite good fortune when you're tired? But the way we're going to talk about it today is, I think, going to give you some new food for thought. So I'm not going to read this whole card because I've already done a whole video on that, but I will include a link if you want to really explore rest, receiving rest even further. However, I am going to read a little excerpt that inspires today's message. So I invite you to sit back, take a breath. You can close your eyes. It helps the words go deeper. And simply receive this message. Receive rest. Rest is a universal need which must be honored, respected, and nurtured. However, you may have a limited understanding of what rest is, why it's important, and how it's an expression of your power. If you believe that you can't afford to rest, or your value lies in your productivity, you will struggle. Since your consciousness creates your reality, you will manifest what you believe, and you will receive only if and when you've worked hard enough. But how do you know when enough is enough? The truth, however, is that rest is essential in your capacity to receive. If you've been working hard, whether doing deep emotional work or expending a lot of energy on physical world outcomes, rest can bring you exactly what you most need. Replenishment and restoration when you feel depleted. Inspiration when your mind needs clarities and answers. Spaciousness for things to move that have felt stuck. In order to receive, there must be a space in which to receive. So that's the piece I want to read to you today. And if you are tired, if you need rest, and you don't know how or when you're going to find time to rest, it just doesn't feel like something you can afford to do or something that you have time for, the first space, as this said, in order to receive, there must be a space in which to receive. The first space is always in your mind. We look for space for ourselves in the world. We even block things out on our calendar. But if we don't get to the root of where spaciousness is born, then we are going to be struggling to make space for ourselves in the physical world. And that's a reflection of where there's no space for ourselves in our inner world. So the first place that a space occurs is in your awareness. And it begins with calling upon what I call your inner witness. So when you notice that you're tired and you're telling yourself, I'm so tired, when am I going to rest? I don't have time to rest. Simply notice, pause. Okay, now there's a space between you and those thoughts, between you and those beliefs, between you and that state of consciousness that creates your reality. Now you can stand back, witness those thoughts, take a breath into the space between you and those thoughts. And you can use your willingness mantra, which is this: I am willing to believe that I can receive infinite blessings as I rest. I am willing to believe that I can receive infinite blessings as I rest. So say that to yourself as often as you want. You can't say it enough. And you are going to simply begin to receive and become aware of things that you're receiving without having to work hard. You will be able to give yourself more permission to rest in expected and unexpected ways. Space will open up for you. All kinds of things happen when you direct your awareness to rest and receiving and spaciousness for you. Okay? So, now that we've kind of given you your 10-minute morning send-off, I have so many things running through my awareness around this because this topic is there's so much to talk about here. But since we only have a little bit of time, I wanted to highlight one main idea. And that is this: when we think about rest because we're tired, we usually tend to think about it as a physical world thing. Like we're going to sit on the couch, or we're going to lay down, or we're going to take a nap, or maybe we'll just, plop down somewhere and zone out. Okay. But it's something that we do in the outer world. It's a physical rest. Okay. What I'd like to offer that you might play around with is rest from expectations. Rest from expectations. One of the things that feeds the machine that tells us, I don't have time to rest, there's no time to rest, I can't afford to rest, that whole thing, that whole gerbil wheel of consciousness, is that we feel we must meet all kinds of expectations. We never even question that. We're on automatic pilot, and we are having to react to whatever expectation, whether it's work, parents, kids, the world, whatever. It's your expectations. Now, One of the things that fuels expectations is this idea of what's called transactional value that is rooted in the doing model of power. Okay, so what that means is when we're a child, we have this natural state of vulnerability. Okay, as mammals, we are the most vulnerable mammal on this planet. We need our parents to feel and be safe. And a natural part of life is that we start to get messages, even with the healthiest, well-meaning parents, that it is not safe to simply be who we are. We're not safe to simply be who we are. And because, and again, this isn't, I mean, it can come from, an extreme scenario of abuse and neglect, but it doesn't have to, because it is just part of the conditioning process of being a child, all right, especially in some cultures like the United States, right? So as you start to get the message that maybe it's not safe to be who I am, maybe I can't relax, and that natural vulnerability, that natural innocence kicks in, we start to learn how to make sure that we're going to be safe, cared for, receive attention, be valued, be appreciated, be safe, be protected, all of the things that we need because we have this natural state of vulnerability. So we start to learn how to provide, how to be productive. We provide supply. So if I do this, if I be this, then I will get love, care, support, and attention. Okay? My value is in what I do, the doing model of power. And in there starts to build this expectation of the things that I need to do to receive, to be safe. All right. And because we believe we have to do something in order to receive what we need and want, right, it starts to create these blind spots to the kindness of life. Life always offers kindness. But if you believe that you're not safe, if you believe that you can only receive when you do and perform and provide and supply, you cannot see that life is always offering you kindness and that you're in a position to receive that kindness simply because you exist. So this idea of rest allows you to practice this idea of, what if I rest from expectations? What if I practice this willingness mantra? I am willing to believe that I can receive infinite blessings as I rest, simply because I exist. Now, that might be a scary concept to let go of expectations when you're so used to providing and performing and supplying and doing. But if you practice willingness, you're going to start to open up a space to receive entirely new possibilities, where life offers kindness and things start to show up for your life. There's this space that opens up when you give yourself permission to rest from expectations. And one of the things that is inherent in the being model of power, which is where we open up to much easier receiving, because the kindness of life is here and we just let it show up for us, because we embody the consciousness of natural divine worthiness, natural innate value. Okay, as you embody that consciousness, you can start to receive simply because you exist. But here's the thing about the being model. The being model can be messy. It's nonlinear. There's no clear path or plan. It just shows up, okay? The doing model is linear. It's the project manager, the hunter, I want that thing out there, the plan, the strategy, the timeline, the doing, the thinking, the figuring out, organizing. It's all of that. The being is the messy garden, the messy childbirth, right? The tree receives all day long, water, air, atmosphere. The woman's body receives contractions, and out comes a baby after all kinds of messiness. Everything about having a child is messy from beginning to end and after, right? So there's all of this beautiful receiving just by being an invitation, but it's messy, right? So if you can practice letting go of expectations, the rest from expectations, it might be messy, but you'll see that life will take care of itself. Things will get done, not because you forced it and made it happen, but because you did what was in front of you. You rested from expectations. That opens up a space, and then your action is about what's in front of me, what do I feel like doing, what feels good, what inspires me. And believe me, as a recovering list maker, I still make lists, but now I make lists just to park the messiness of my mind on a piece of paper. And then once it's parked, I just do what's in front of me. And I've built a business, I've raised kids, I've had lots of success, kind of finding that balance between the doing and the being and accessing those with much more expansive possibility. So I hope this has given you some new ways of looking at how you can invite good fortune when you're tired, how to receive rest from expectations, and how to let that show you the kindness of life so that you can receive your fulfillment with much greater ease. So I hope this was helpful. If you liked it, please like, please share, please press the red subscribe button on YouTube if you are there, and check out my links above or below. There's plenty of free resources where you can explore how to become a fortunate receiver by unlearning struggle. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you at the next Rise and Receive. Bye, everybody.